Hello, hello. Hopefully you can get to see this live today. So this is your lymphatic and abdominal massage video. It's only going to be 5 minutes. It will be there for you to, it will be there for you to see another day. Hope you're well. Hope you're having a great day. I absolutely love doing lymphatic drainage. Our lymphatic system does not have its own system to shunt, just like our respiratory system does. Our circulatory system has our heart. Our respiratory system has the lungs. The lymphatic system doesn't have any system, and so therefore it gets a bit stagnant, it gets a bit stuck, and we need to help it flow. So exercise helps it flow. However, we can do some stuff to help. So make sure when you do this you are comfortable. And with lymphatic and abdominal drainage, you can do it lay down, you can do it stood up. It doesn't have to be prescriptive. You can do it any time of day. And it's just important to remember that your lymph needs moving around. It really, really needs moving around. And we have lymph nodes everywhere, but particularly around the neck and the collarbone, in the armpit and in the groin. So those are the 3 areas for lymph drainage. And then in terms of bloating, digestion, kind of releasing kind of the digestive tract, then we'll focus on the belly area. So please make sure that you're comfortable. I've still got my trainers on, but you can be barefoot. In fact, I am just going to take my trainers off because that makes me feel more relaxed. So we're going to start with some lymphatic drainage around the neck. So sit or stand comfortably, and using the flat of the fingers, come down from behind your ears, down the sides of your neck towards the collarbone in just gentle stroking movements. So gentle movements going down towards the neck. And then using those fingers, again, just go in circular motions above the collarbone and below the collarbone. It's always nice to be able to feel your collarbones, isn't it? So it just opens up those lymphatic pathways. You also like to do a little bit of tapping. So use the second and middle fingers and just tap around the collarbone, just waking up those pathways of lymph. So it's just a nice way to work on the central nervous system as well, creating that feeling of calm and rest. You can spend as long or as little as time as you've got. Then we're going to move to the armpits. So we're going to lift one arm slightly and we're going to stroke and brush down towards the armpit as firm as you wish, just pushing towards the heart, always pushing down towards the heart, into the armpit. Never be afraid to go right in there. A bit tender, my armpit today. And then again, a bit of tapping around that area, pushing down in towards the heart. You can use the pat of your hand and do a bit of tapping, or you can do gentle pitter-patters, whichever you want, and then change sides. So just flushing through the armpit, or into the armpit, I should say. That's it, just allowing the lymph nodes to wake up, tapping where you feel right. This armpit is not as tender, or it's not tender at all actually. And then we're going to come down towards The groin area. This is an area where you may feel it easier to lie down, but just in the insides of the hip bone, just in that kind of inguinal place, we're just going to press and release. So sometimes easier to lie down. So you're just going to press and release. So it might feel a bit tender. So just press and release. So with the fingers, just go into the hip bones and just gently press and release. Do it on both sides, about 15 to 20 times each side. And just support those lymph nodes in the groin, where fluid often stagnates. So just do that as many times as you feel comfortable, but it's certainly a good 15 just on the insides and the kind of in around those hip bones. And then we'll come down to the leg. So we're going to kind of use the leg as a sandwich. From the ankle, brush, big brushing movements up. So you're grabbing the whole of the leg from the ankle, sandwiching the leg in between the hands and brushing up towards now that groin area for lymph drainage. Again, you can do it sat down. You may want to do some tapping or slapping. Apologies for the noise. Always nice to do. Tapping around that groin area and then moving to the other side. Big sweeping moves up the leg. I quite like the blade of my hand. This is quite nice to do in the shower, particularly if you've done, your workout beforehand. We're moving the lactic and the lymph up towards those lymph nodes and lymph drainage points. And then again, starting at the bottom, moving up towards the heart and that groin area. You can use whichever technique you wish. And then we'll move on to the belly area. So you've got two things to do here. We're going to start by coming from the right side up from the hip up towards the rib, and we're going to follow the tract of our intestine. So we're just sweeping up. Then we come across under the rib cage. I'm using one hand on top of the other, using the heel of my hand to move across. That's quite tender for me today. Always good to go kind of right underneath the ribs and then flush down. So you're following the line of the colon and the intestine, coming around in a clockwise movement. So when you look down, it's going clockwise, around and down. And then you can come underneath the rib cage into both movements. Again, it's quite nice to do lay down. It's always nice to have somebody else do it for you, but always got that, afford that luxury, can we? And then we'll go around the belly button area. So we start just above the belly button and we do just below the belly button, and we go in small circular movements, kind of about a centimetre or two around the belly button. And you can see I'm just using those two fingers to go in a circular move. Now, if you've ever had a baby and ever gone to baby massage, and if your baby's ever constipated, obviously don't press as hard on a baby. This is a really nice movement to do to kind of help shunt feces and any other waste through the abdominals. So do whatever it is that you wish to do. You can go back to that movement around, up and around. You can go back underneath the waist, and then I would, if you weren't lying down already, I would lie down and I would do some of that abdominal breathing. So placing the hand on the belly and the chest, take a breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. And as you breathe out through the mouth, you should feel the belly deflate. As you breathe in through the nose, you feel the belly expand. Breathe out through the mouth. And then placing the hands on the hips, just gently breathe in. And as you breathe out, just rock the pelvis. So as you breathe in, the back arches slightly. As you breathe out, you just rock and tilt the pelvis. The bottom may lift like an inch off the floor. My stomach started to gurgle now. Obviously done the trick. And then come back to seated. Feel free to do any of that all over again, or just go around your day. So then you can stand, and then you can do that whenever you wish. So I hope that was something new you learned today, where all the lymph nodes are, and the lymph points, and some brushing, some stroking, some tapping, and some massage. Let me know what you think. See you soon. Bye for now. Thanks for watching.